Hey everyone, so in today's video, or in this video, because I already filmed a video today and I plan on putting them up both today, but anyways, in this video, I'm going to be talking about being pagan or Wiccan or a witch or whatever you want to call yourself, but being that when you're in high school and finding your spiritual path and what you believe in when you're in high school and how people are going to react to that and, all the worries that come with that, because I know that being pagan in high school can be really, really hard, especially when you come from a really small town. People can be very narrow-minded, and usually there's not a whole lot of diversity. So yeah, I'm just gonna give my thoughts on that. So when I was in grade 10, I decided that I was going to be devoted to my spiritual path. I'm in grade 12 now. So it's been about just over 2 years, and at first I was so scared for anybody to find out. I was terrified that they were going to do terrible things to me. The phone's ringing. Anyways, that they were going to find out and do terrible things to me and make fun of me, and I just had the worst thoughts imaginable. I thought all my friends, if they ever found out, that they would think I was a devil worshiper and I wouldn't have any friends anymore, and I was really, really scared about that. I did have one friend, however, two friends at the time, that knew because they were on the same path, but we were all just freaked out that anyone would find out. So obviously we didn't tell anybody, and we were super secretive about it. However, as I started to go along my path and really find the spiritual side of me rather than the material side of this religious or spiritual path, I really started to think, well, this is who I am. And sooner or later, I'm going to have to come out about it. And sooner or later, people are going to find out, because I don't want to live under this rock for the rest of my life, because it's so constricting. It really, really is. And I'm proud of who I am. I want to be proud of who I am, and I want to show that to people, and I want to be able to be accepted in society, and I want other people like me and other people on the same or similar spiritual path to be able to be accepted also. And if I'm hiding under a rock, if I'm hiding in the broom closet, so to speak, I'm not really setting a good example. So I decided not too long ago, probably like 6 months ago, that I would start being a little bit more open about my spirituality. And it's something that I've thought about for a long time, but it's something that I definitely felt was right. However, I'm pretty sure not a whole lot of people from my school know. My school has just under 300 kids, so it's really, really small, and everyone is either super Christian or just super prejudiced. And so it's hard to be different. Even before I decided that I was going to be devoted to this spiritual path, I was a drama kid, and I was really artsy and weird, and people didn't really like that, and so I got made fun of a lot for that. And so adding being a witch on top of that, I mean, that is just a death sentence. But I don't think too many people know now. I mean, if somebody asked me, I would be open about it. But unless they do, I'm not going to be like, hey guys, guess what? I'm a witch. They'll find out in their own time. I mean, it says on my religious views on my Facebook page that I'm a pagan universalist. So, I mean, I'm not sure that a lot of people would necessarily know what that means, but I'm sure some people can fill in the blanks. Plus, I post stuff, witchy stuff on there all the time, so yeah. If that's not a dead giveaway, you can pretty much guarantee they know nothing. So, but just to anybody who's in high school or young and scared of what people will think about you, if they find out that you are pagan or witch or whatever, or you follow a certain spiritual path that may not be accepted by a lot of people in your community, I've been there. I know how it feels, and I'm still in that situation, because I know that if anybody found out, and if the wrong people found out, that I would be in a lot of trouble, and a lot of people would say very mean things about me. And it's something that I never would wish upon anybody. So I understand when people are like, I don't want to come out because you know what? I'm not ready for that. When you're older and live in some place with more diversity or are able to take the heat from that, are able to stand your own ground, um, maybe that's the time to start being more open. But if you're in high school and you really, really don't feel comfortable with everybody knowing, then I just say, you know what? Keep it to yourself. I'm also going to say this, that there's probably more pagans and Wiccans or people who are following the same spiritual path than you like at your school than you think there are. I can guarantee that there's probably someone there who's pagan and you don't even know it. Because I mean, nobody knew that I was. My closest friends didn't even know, and I had stuff all over my room, and they didn't clue in yet. They were just like, oh, she's interested in witchcraft. She likes it. She's not actually practicing it. I think it was a little bit of denial, but anyways. But there's probably someone, because if I can hide it, other people can too. And if you can hide it, other people can too. So I think that it's important to set an example, because if you are comfortable or if you do live in a place where there's a lot more diversity or a lot more people in a pagan community, then I think it's totally acceptable for you to come out, and I don't think a lot of people will judge you, and I don't think you'll get a lot of heat from it. I think a lot of the times when people are scared to express themselves, it's because of the perceived reaction that they're going to get. But most of the time, as crazy as this sounds, most people just won't care. They're like, meh, whatever. I remember, like, my boyfriend now, I was like, oh my gosh, like, when I liked him, I was like, I don't know if I want to tell him that I'm a witch. I don't want to tell him that I'm, like, a pagan, because I don't know, like, because he goes to a Catholic school, and, like, I don't know if, like, that's going to be okay. But I just came out about it, and he was like, you know what, that's totally, it totally makes more sense than Catholicism or any Christian religion. No disrespect to anybody who follows a Christian path, but that's just what he said. Paganism, to me, makes more sense. And I was like, yeah, well, you know what, if you think that, there's probably a lot of other people who think that. It's all about being open. You're never going to meet someone, you're never going to meet a community of people being closed off. And if you want to connect with people, I'm not saying being part of a coven, but when you're young, you typically want to share these things with you because, you know, you're just starting to figure yourself out. Gosh, I can't talk today. You're just starting to figure yourself out and figure out what you believe in and who you want to be in life. And I mean, that's it's totally okay to want to connect with people, and it's totally okay to not want to be completely solitary. You know what I'm saying? I think that's why so many people are on YouTube, because there's such a lack of a pagan community in my area that, you know, it's nice to have someone, so to speak, to get to talk to and a place to express myself. So I think that's why a lot of, you know, young people, or just a lot of people in general, are on YouTube. Yeah. But as far as people's reactions, I mean, I can't really say. If you live in a small town, like, it's not always going to be easy. Wherever you are, it's never going to be easy, but that's for anything, really. It's for anything. You want to tell someone any, like, anomaly that you do have about, like, anything that really makes you different. You want to express that to people. I mean, there's going to be negative reactions, but there's also going to be reactions that are like, yeah, you know what, you go. You go, girl. You go, boyfriend, whatever you don't know. But just know that you're not alone, and know that it's okay. It's okay to express yourself spiritually. It's okay to be open about your spirituality, but it's also okay to choose not to be open about your spirituality for now. And it'll get better, because when you grow up and you move on, and you're going to find a lot of people, and when you go off to post-secondary education, or, you know, you move out of your little tiny area, your little bubble, you're going to find that a lot of people share the same beliefs as you, and a lot of people are way more accepting. there's always going to be someone, no matter where you live, no matter how big your city is, no matter how small, there's always going to be somebody who's going to be negative. And that sounds like really harsh, but it's the reality of the situation. But for the most part, I don't really think that there's anything to worry about. If you're comfortable being open, then be open. If you're not, then don't. And just know that you're not a freak and you're not alone, and that one day you're going to find someone or multiple people who are going to be completely accepting and loving. So that's all I have to say about that subject. I hope this helped someone, and if you have any more questions about being pagan in high school or just coming out about your spirituality, then feel free to ask them in the comment section below or to personal message me. And if you have any suggestions for any videos that you want to see from me, also feel free to suggest those. So, thank you guys for watching, and blessed be.